Alright, this is the demo project. Right here you can see the hardware. It's a PowerFlex 4 drive on the left, DC power supply just next to that, Micrologix 1200 with an analog expansion card. And right now it's in run mode. You can see a couple of the inputs and one of the outputs for a pilot light. This here is the contraption. It's a bicycle wheel on a hinge with a motor mounted to here. You can see they spin together, and this picks up. There's an air cylinder that does the lifting. There's a prox right here, which is for tack, which doesn't work because of the aluminum. And there's a prox right down here, which is for the down limit switch. There are 3 other sensors in the program, but due to mechanical limitations, they're not installed. Over here we have just the operator interface right now, which is 2 push buttons. We've got a red push button and a green push button, also illuminated, and then we're running Logix 500 here. I have a few rungs here for dummy, just to make this thing work. Right now the air cylinder is charged up to about 100 psi, which we can see right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this thing in auto mode and get it running. So right now we're going to go to auto mode. I'm going to toggle this bit high. And now you can see we have different status here saying it's an auto. And we're going to go from here. I'm going to press the button. And here we go. So it's going to spin up the speed right now. And once it gets up to speed, I'm going to simulate the tack OK, which is going to be right now. So the bit is toggled high. After 3 seconds, it'll enable, lift it up. At this point, I'm going to toggle that the lift is at speed and up. From here, it's going to cycle out for a minute. And I guess we'll have to be patient here. The green pilot light is on solid, indicating the cycle is running. The red light just flashes to indicate the stop button is active. Ride cycle is done. Ride comes back down and flags the prox, which brings it down to a slower creep speed for parking. And once that's established, there's a prox that's supposed to indicate when the ride is at park, but that was a prox that's no longer there, so I'll simulate it now. I toggle it, the ride drives to 0 speed, stops, and then goes back to a flashing green light indicating it's ready for the next cycle, where if I push this now, I have to untoggle some stuff. If I push it now, the light goes solid again, and the ride will resume another cycle. It'll speed up to speed. And then start all over again once I start toggling some bits. That was me. I got a little air pressure is too low right now, so it's a little cold right now, so the air pressure is not working right. For this, I'm just going to have a view of the drive and the Micrologix while the cycle's running. I changed the ride up timer to 15 seconds so we don't have to wait as long. Initiating cycle now. Bypassing the tack. It's high after 3 seconds. You should see an output and it's starting to lift. Once it's up, I'm bypassing the at level prox now, which begins the ride cycle timer. It's releasing the pressure, It flags the park down prox, begins the decel. Once it gets to its speed, which I have set at 6 Hertz, I'm going to flag the parked prox, which drives the drive to 0 Hertz to stop the ride. And just for the guts of this thing, oops, on the bottom side you can see there are 2 air valves. The one on the top, the yellow right there with the black hose on it, is lift up. This one down here is lift down with the vent on it. That's also, the bottom one's normally open, the top one's normally closed. And then this big white PVC-U is the air reservoir. You can see there's a Schrader valve for filling, which goes to bike pump. And then over here you can see the manifold. It's kind of dark, but that's the backside of the pressure gauge, blow-off valve, and then the actual air feed is right there, which feeds down to the valve manifold.